Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Sunday Stock Watch, series I post every Sunday where I let you guys know what stocks I'm personally keeping an eye on going into the trading week. So, as always, we will go over each topic that we're going to be discussing and we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us on TradingView, we have gold. So, Barrick Gold, this is a gold mining company that just dropped some huge news in regard to the Oracle of Omaha himself, Mr. Warren Buffett of Berkshire Hathaway, picking up a huge stake in this company, in the process, dumping banks and oil. So, we will cover this article. Trust me, you guys, this news will make waves throughout the entire financial markets. Big news. Excited to cover this. I will preface the video by saying this: if there's one single sector that I was to recommend you guys really keep a close eye on next week, it is gold miners. Okay, so not gold, but gold miners. We will also touch on silver and silver miners. I'm very bullish there as well. We'll take a look at this chart that dates back all the way to 1970. Okay, so 50 years ago, half a century, and this compares stocks versus gold and silver. So it's the S&P. So we got the S&P, the Dow, gold and silver here. Excited to look at this with you guys. I really just want to turn you guys on to this. This is something that I look at fairly frequently, just because in this current market environment where there's so much now there's so many shiny objects, everyone wants everything now. I really think it's important to take a step back and zoom out and keep an eye on the macro picture. Okay, so keep an eye on the big picture of things and see how it's performed in the past against stocks and other asset classes. Okay, so we can use that information to our advantage now that the next precious metal bull run is officially here, in my opinion. Okay, so we will use that then to segue into Bitcoin. You know, we got to talk about Bitcoin. If you guys have been tuning in, you would know that at this point I'm irresponsibly bullish almost on Bitcoin and a lot of cryptocurrency blockchain mining stocks. So you know we will use this segue into talking Bitcoin, talking Riot, talking Mar. We got to talk some of the Bitcoin miners as well. A lot of mining going on today. Okay, so mining is a hot industry across the board right now. So keep an eye: gold miners, silver miners, Bitcoin miners. All right, those are like the top three sectors that I would personally keep an eye on, and I'm most bullish on personally. All right, I do actually want to kick the video off by reading you guys a segment from Thursday's newsletter, because it sums up pretty well just why I'm bullish on gold and silver. I've had gold and silver miners in my portfolio for a long time now. You guys, I've been very prepared for this, and I've been very nicely compensated for expecting gold to do well, especially in a world where there's trillions are being printed. So we will read this. I'll just kick it off with this, but before we do that, I do want to remind you guys that tonight, as of Sunday at midnight Hawaii time, so it's going to be like 6 a.m. Eastern time, I will be rising the price of the portfolio, the complete portfolio newsletter product, from a monthly subscription of $15 to a new price of $20. Okay, so for two reasons, if you guys haven't heard me talk about it already, one is I want to reward my day ones. I want to reward any of you who are OGs of the portfolio and newsletter program, and just give you guys something. And I feel like that's good. Anyone who buys it prior to the price bump tonight will be grandfathered in at 15, and it will stay at 15 for as long as you want to stick around. Okay, so again, after that it'll be 20. I do want to do it as well, just to keep that group as exclusive as possible. It's not crazy, but I do think it'll kind of slow it down a little bit and just keep it more exclusive. I want to be inclusive as possible. I always preach inclusivity, especially on YouTube, but for the newsletter, I do want it to be a little more on the exclusive side. Okay, so that said, again, link in description if you want to check that out. If not, no worries at all. Okay, so let's get into this. Before we do that, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like as well. If you go on to gain value from it, or if you're invested in any of these stocks we're talking about today, again, a lot of exciting things going on right now. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and want to catch more content like this. And again, check out this newsletter if you're interested in that. Okay. So my gold and silver plays are really keeping the portfolio floating today. This was on Thursday, all right? So again, I want to read this one specifically. In a world where trillions are being printed in fiat currencies, it makes perfect sense that safe haven assets and those who mine them are doing well, similar to why I like Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners. This asset class is a significant portion of my portfolio, and that is for good reason, especially considering I engage in some pretty speculative plays. I see this sector as an offensive hedge. Okay, so again, silver, that's a good way to, obviously, because I wrote, I do agree with this. Silver and gold are offensive defensive plays, if that makes any sense. So it's hedges in the sense that there's so much economic we're in an economic crisis. That's factual. The stock market obviously doesn't seem that way because it's not correlated anymore with the actual economy, but it still makes the stock market sketchy in my mind. Traditional equities are sketchy, and gold and silver has always been somewhat of a hedge to traditional equities, which is what you can see here. Okay, so we'll just take a look at this real quick just to set the framework for you guys for what's happened in the past in regard to gold, gold, why Buffett might be liking gold right now, and why I personally like gold for a long time. Okay, so you can see here, the red and blue are the S&P and Dow Jones. Okay, just pretty much the equity markets. They're both very similar. So that's just a conglomerate or a compilation of a whole bunch of stocks, big tech stocks in the equity sector. Okay, so when those go down, as you can see here in 2008, like the financial crisis right here. Sorry, these things are kind of getting in the way. I don't know how to turn those off. But so the stock market crashed. We saw the financial crisis right here in 2008. And that in itself was the catalyst to set off this huge bull run in gold. Okay, so you can see here gold over the course of the next 3 years after the financial crisis came up to reach its previous high that it just recently broke of about $1,700. Okay, so that was huge. Silver as well. You can see silver during that same time was extremely correlated to gold. So silver went up significantly as well. Silver is still significantly below its all-time high, which is what makes me personally more bullish on silver as opposed to gold right now as an asset. So I mean, I'm super bullish on silver and gold, especially in a time of economic uncertainty. Right now, everything is going up. So it's even more bullish in my mind that gold and silver are doing well right now while the markets are doing well. And then in the case that the markets, the general equity markets, so the S&P, the Dow, do happen to pull back, I do think that'll make assets like gold and silver do even better. Okay, so it's almost like they almost can't lose right now. Obviously, on a day-to-day, this isn't investment advice. You guys know the deal. They could pull back. They could see pullbacks, but I'm focusing on the mid to long term on almost all of these that I'm going to be talking about today. I'm very bullish short term on them, but medium to long term, I'm extremely bullish and almost I'm feeling extremely confident in the fact that these will continue to do very well over the medium to long term, as well as the short term. Okay, so I'm very bullish, as you guys can tell. So let's cover this article and then we'll take a look at the gold chart. So Buffett takes Barrick Gold stake, dumps Goldman Sachs, Occidental Petroleum. Warren Buffett's latest SEC filing shows Berkshire Hathaway also trimmed stakes in Wells Fargo and JP Morgan as well. Huge news, you guys. Again, this will, for a fact, make waves throughout the equity markets. This will, this is just fire to the flame, or whatever the saying is there. I don't know even what I was trying to say, but you guys fueling the fire. Like, there's already so much bullish fundamental momentum behind gold and gold miners. This is just the cherry on top right here. Okay, so Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway holding company took a stake in Barrick Gold while exiting or reducing holdings in shares of financial companies in the quarter ended July 1st, according to a file with the SEC. The filing shows Berkshire acquired 16 million shares of Barrick during the period. That's huge. Okay, so huge stake. Berkshire dumped its holding in Goldman Sachs and reduced its holding in JP. Okay, so this is showing, which we will get to in this article, why banks, short the banks. Long Bitcoin, long gold, short the banks. All right, banks are in a sketchy place right now, which is sketchy, considering banks are like the backbone of the financial markets overall, especially within the States. So this is bad news from an economic perspective, but if you play this correctly, you can use this information to your advantage to capitalize on trends like gold and Bitcoin, like we will be talking about. Okay, so Berkshire added to an earlier stake in Store Capital, honestly not sure what that is, and to its holding in Kroger. Okay, so Kroger, he's Buffett. Again, he's known for, he's an old dude. He's definitely a boomer. He's on the older, kind of more legacy side of investing. So Kroger makes perfect sense for Buffett. But again, gold, great play, because Buffett has mocked gold in the past as just being a whack asset. But now he's obviously changed his mind. He's adapting to the times, and I 100% agree with him that gold should do well. Okay, so let's take a look. That said, let's look at Barrick Gold itself. Been a lot of talk about it. So let's look at the charts. All right, I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking technically. Okay, so we're looking here. You can see. You know what? Let's start. This was the bottom in March. So in March, during the liquidity crisis, when all assets sold off, remember that, you guys, during time, like March was panic. That is what true fear in the markets look like, is when everything sold off and we had a liquidity crisis. It didn't matter. Gold, proven safe haven asset. It didn't matter. Everything dropped. People wanted liquidity. People wanted dollars. All right. And now that we're seeing gold go up, it's up significantly. So it bottomed out at about 1260. It's up. It's over 2x since then, up over 100%, peaking at about at like $30. Okay, so we're seeing a nice pullback right now. Again, you guys, this news is going to catalyze a huge. I'm so confident in the fact that this will move up. If we look here, let's zoom in a little bit, a lot of it. So sorry, this is going to look a little crazy. Oh man, sorry about that. So I want to zoom in here and show you guys the after hour movement. Okay, that's why I'm doing this. It's up about 8% after hours. So let's move my fat head real quick. Get in here. Look at extended trading. Move my fat head back down. So we're looking here, and you can see that after hours, Barrick is up about 8%. Okay, so it skyrocketed after hours. Again, not at its previous highs that it set a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago. So I mean, I still think gold has so much growth potential ahead of it. I want to really zoom out here and show you guys what this looks like from a macro perspective. Again, you guys, especially with assets like gold, like Bitcoin, like silver, I really want to focus on the macro perspective because that's what matters, and that's what I use to gauge my future price targets. All right, so Barrick Gold would not surprise me in the least. So again, this is 2016. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is 2011 when we saw this peak in gold. Over here. Okay, so this is 2011 when gold itself peaks, but again, obviously gold goes up. The individuals who mine that gold, who accumulate that gold, go up as well. It only makes sense, all right? So back in 2011, Barrick Gold peaked at $55. Okay, so Barrick Gold could still, even though it's been rallying, it could still 2x from here and not even be at all-time highs. So it wouldn't surprise me at all personally. This applies to every mining company. Keep in mind, guys, I actually personally don't even hold Barrick because Barrick has an extremely high market cap. I prefer lower market cap plays because a lot of times they translate to larger gains. Okay, so I always say that, remember that, you guys, the lower the market cap, the more potential a stock has for volatility. I'm not saying the same principle applies down too, so be careful there. But there is more volatility. It takes less capital inflow to boost the price, the individual share price of a stock when the market cap is lower. So Barrick is currently sitting at almost a $50 billion market cap. Most of the plays that I like are under 10 billion. So Barrick is, I believe, the largest gold miner on the market. So again, you guys, always do your own research, but I do personally expect almost every gold miner to reach at least previous all-time highs like they set in 2011, and very likely go beyond that. I do believe this is just the beginning of what will be a huge bull market in gold and crypto. Okay, so speaking of crypto, let's get into this. All right, Warren Buffett buying gold may push Bitcoin to 50K, investors say. Let's scroll down here. I have a few highlights that I want to share with you guys. What Buffett's decision to enter a gold position over banks shows about Bitcoin. Buffett's decision to completely close Berkshire's position on Goldman Sachs follows the bank's second ever highest quarterly trading revenue of $13 billion. It suggests Buffett is not comfortable in betting big on the banking industry in the long term. Okay, so you guys have to remember, Buffett is the epitome of a macro investor. He spots macro trends, which is what I do as well. Obviously, Buffett has a little more capital than me, a bit more capital, just being real. Obviously, Buffett, again, he has, although he played the crash, he didn't anticipate this recovery quickly. You guys may have heard of that. The dude's still an OG. The guy is still a Mount Rushmore of investing. This dude is a legend in the game. He's a titan of industry, and he knows what he's doing. He knows how to spot macroeconomic trends. All right, he's proven that. So Max Kaiser, an avid Bitcoin investor who's invested in companies like Kraken and Biotechs, believes Buffett's gold investment could benefit Bitcoin. He said the positive sentiment around gold implies a higher valuation for Bitcoin, which some consider as digital gold. That's the one-liner that I use. Bitcoin is digital gold. It's gold 2.0. It's provably scarce, and that's something you have to remember. And that's why I like Bitcoin over gold personally. I will make a video about this in the future, talking about why Bitcoin is the obvious choice over gold. It's digital. It's provenly scarce. Gold is scarce, but it's not provenly scarce, which is the X factor in that argument in my mind. But I'll touch on that in future videos. So again, stay tuned. Global, this is a little hard to digest, so I'll just kind of read some of the highlights from this because I already read through this and I was like, what? Global $1 trillion fund manager Biz is less than 1% invested in gold. With Buffett now moving into gold, expect global allocation of 5%. Okay, so I don't even know what AUMIN means, but gold, okay, so again, the fund management, like wealth managers, only have 1% in gold right now, allocated in gold. So that's obviously $100 trillion is a huge market. All right, and obviously if they go from 1% to 5%, again, you guys remember, in Buffett doing this will make waves throughout the entire financial markets. That is a fact. I'm almost positive of this. Okay, so if it goes from 1% to 5%, that implies a $5,000 gold, all right, from where it's at right now. And then he goes on to argue that expect a 1% Bitcoin global allocation. So if again, $1 trillion, if 1% of $100 trillion market goes into Bitcoin, to the innovative people who do choose to hold Bitcoin, which is obviously growing, that's what Grayscale is doing. All the metrics of institutional adoption around Bitcoin are going up very fast and very significantly. Okay, so if 1% of a $100 trillion market if Bitcoin can capture 1% of a $100 trillion market, that will imply a $50,000 Bitcoin based on Bitcoin's overall market cap. Okay, and this would not surprise me in the least bit, you guys. 20K was the last high for Bitcoin, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see a 2x from the previous high. So 50K is probably my price target, and I personally believe that's going to go down by, I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this year, to be honest. If you guys have played Bitcoin before in cryptocurrency, you know how parabolic and I mean, those things can go straight up, go straight to the moon very fast. Okay, so a former LS equity portfolio manager of an Ikigai fund founder, Travis Kling, big fan of this guy, echoed a similar statement referring to Buffett's skeptical statement in 1998 around gold, saying it doesn't have utility. So again, that's what I said in the beginning. Buffett has roasted gold in the past, and I agree with him right here. So I'll just read this. Today it was announced Berkshire Hathaway just bought its first gold stock ever. The reasons are self-apparent at this point, 100%. Just in case you're wondering what the coming years are going to look like for Bitcoin, this was Buffett on gold in 1998. So again, looking at how far gold has come since 1998, let's zoom out here and show you guys what gold has done since 1990. Okay, so this is 1990. Like, just look at this bull rally. Like, I believe we're right here. That's a great comparison. So gold in 1998 was actually around here, and I think we're like right here in the Bitcoin cycle, in the Bitcoin super cycle. Okay, remember, you guys, Bitcoin is such a young asset, and again, you guys remember this, just have this picture in your mind. I think Bitcoin is right around this area. Okay, so Bitcoin is a very young asset. Let's move on to Bitcoin, and then we will move on to Riot and Mara as well. Take a quick look at those. So Bitcoin, again, you guys, this is on the same time horizon. Bitcoin is only about 10 years old. Bitcoin's only a decade old, and it's already established itself as a very valid store of value, a legitimate asset that many institutions are picking up right now. We did just cover, that article in the video a couple days ago, talking about the public company that went, which we will cover, what's the name? Because it's right here. Hold on, let me get it here. Of Microstrategy. So this is a public company. This is a big company, $1.4 billion intelligence conglomerate, Microstrategy, which is also a stock that you guys should definitely keep an eye on. It's a ticker symbol MSTR. We'll take a look at that too. So keep an eye on that. But they allocated half of their balance sheet, half of their cash pile to Bitcoin, because the firm said BTC would act as the company's primary treasury asset, acknowledging Bitcoin as a store of value and a potential safe haven asset. I mean, the statement that the CEO released was so thoughtful and so well said. I was very impressed with it. So do look into MicroStrategy and those news articles if you would like. But so bullish, purchased $250 million worth of Bitcoin. Very legit company. BlackRock, who's like one of the biggest, the true titans of industry, biggest funds out there, does have a stake in MicroStrategy, so even them are exposed to Bitcoin. All right, and you just have to understand things are trending in this way. Trillions of dollars are being printed, like I mentioned in this newsletter. That fundamentally is the driver behind the success of safe haven, provenly scarce assets like Bitcoin, and then scarce assets like gold. Okay, so Bitcoin, again, you guys, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Bitcoin reach $50,000 over the course of the year. Along with that, obviously will come, sorry, I'm veering off into Bitcoin and gold, but again, you guys, I always say you have to understand the macroeconomic environment if you want to excel within sectors, within specific stocks. Because again, if you have that gives you such an edge as opposed to just day traders and traders who are just buying the hype stocks, which is, the market is full of those right now. So you want to be a step ahead of them. All right, you want to have access to that extra information that will give you that edge. Okay, so Riot, this is a good time for him to start on. Again, I'm telling you guys, zoom out. Look at what Riot did back in 2017 when Bitcoin reached 20K. I'm not saying, obviously, it's lost that correlation, and this was factually a bubble. Riot was up to $45. Riot is a tiny market cap still. Riot is currently sitting at a $130 million market cap. Remember, you guys, most of the stocks in the market are $1 billion plus. Like, there's so, like, this is a blip. This is nothing in the grand scheme of equities. Okay, so there's still so much potential here. Remember, smaller market caps equal more potential for growth. All right, more potential for rapid growth, and that's what you can see here back in 2017 when the first cryptocurrency, not the first, but the most recent cryptocurrency bull rally occurred. Riot reached $45 per share. That's insane. So I expect, especially again with this retail filled market, so much new money wanting revolutionary assets, I would not be surprised at all to see Riot at least go up over the course of, obviously it's closely correlated to Bitcoin because it is a Bitcoin miner. The more Bitcoin goes up, the more money Riot makes. We did just recently cover that article in the last crypto convo about both Riot and Mara releasing news in regard to new miners. Getting a lot more miners, more mining machines equal more Bitcoin earned. More Bitcoin earned Bitcoin going up, double whammy, you get more profits, all right? So the fundamentals around both of these companies are way better. I'm not even going to focus on the short term, you guys. Just keep an eye on Riot. Actually, you know what, Riot, because I do have this nice little thing drawn right here. Beautiful. Okay, so you can see here, Riot. I do still believe that Riot will ultimately come up and retest this. I don't know why it went back there, but retest this trend line that it's set right here. I mean, from like July, this is a solid uptrend, and it's still holding this. It perfectly bounced off this lower line of support as I expected, and I believe, again, over the course of Bitcoin rallying by mid-September, that's what I'm personally thinking, Riot will probably, I mean, this is on a pretty short-term time horizon right here, but again, the further this expands, the further you go, the higher the price target is. So at some point over the course of the next month, I do believe it will ultimately come up to retest once again this upper line of resistance, and that, again, as it spans out, it just keeps getting higher and higher. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a $6 to $7 Riot over the course of the next month. All right, it's extremely, as I've said to you guys, I'm almost irresponsibly bullish on Riot. Please do your own research, understand that this is just my take, but I do want to share it with you guys and put it on your radar and just keep you guys in the mix. I just want, and like, I'm sorry if you're disappointed in how little I'm actually talking about stocks and how much I'm maybe talking about Bitcoin and stuff, but you guys, I'm so freaking bullish on Bitcoin, and like, I think it's just such a good opportunity that I really want to share it with you guys and really embed it in your brain. So that's why I won't shut up about it. All right. So that's Riot. Let's move on to Mara. Mara played out. I am worried that Mara could still play out this somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern, but I don't think it will. Again, just riding the wave of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin mining companies, everyone's going to want a piece of that. Davey day traders preaching Bitcoin. Bitcoin's on everyone's radar right now. We talked about how Tesla and Bitcoin on TradingView, which is this platform I'm using, TradingView Analytics said that Tesla and Bitcoin were the most searched assets last month. So Bitcoin is just, I mean, there's so much steam behind Bitcoin. Again, government's printing trillions. It's provenly scarce. It's gold 2.0. Buffett just bought a stake in a gold company. And then people are going to want a stake of what is Gold 2.0. And the more people learn about just Bitcoin, again, I always say an investment in Bitcoin is an investment in your education, because once you have a stake in it, same applies to almost every asset. Once you have a stake, once you have skin in the game, you educate yourself. And that's the biggest thing. It's just education and awareness around the space and really understanding the purpose Bitcoin serves as an asset class in this current economic environment. Okay, so Mara, obviously, again, if Bitcoin does well, Mara's for sure going to do well. So what I think is very likely to happen we technically set a higher low here, just barely, but I think we'll probably just ride this wave up, go up, set a new yearly high, set a new short-term high. We will then probably see a pullback to recent highs, and then we'll probably ultimately come up to test this historic level around here at like 750. I'll show you guys why that is, why I think that. So zooming out here, 750, you can see here, and then Mara, same here, you guys. Just look back in time. Mara set a lot of like weekly candles, a lot going on around here. Weekly, obviously, very solid time frame to look at, and it set a lot of highs around the $750 region. 750 solid psychological number, so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Mara come up to the 750 level shortly. And then again, you guys, just look at what the potential, look at what these things can do. Back in 2017, similar to Riot, Mara reached $40. So these are two very similar stocks, like two peas in a pod in a sense. Different companies, obviously, but they will act similar. And if we do see price action like this, it's just, remember, you guys, think about what these things can do. So Mara is even smaller than Riot by market cap. I believe they're so they're really close. These are such similar stocks right now. It's crazy. So I mean, I'm positioned. I've calls and stock positions in both Riot and Mara. Again, if you guys do want to know exactly what my positions are in all the stocks we're talking about today, you guys can check out the complete portfolio down below. That is the same thing as the newsletter. So it's both 2-in-1. And again, I want to reiterate one more time. Just push it. Again, today is the last day that you can get it for $15 a month as opposed to $20. All right. So I think, I mean, I'll take a quick look down the watch list. So sorry we didn't cover many gold miners. Trust me, guys, I will make videos on gold miner. I'll probably make some stock talks about some of my favorite gold miners. But just these are some of my, obviously, I'm sure you guys can see them, and I assume you know that I'm invested in whatever's on my watch list. So that's not necessarily true all the time, but I mean, a lot of the time you can have an idea of what I'm looking at. So gold, Yamana Gold, AUI, AGI, BTG, and then there's silver. So let's take a look at silver quick, actually. So silver saw a significant pullback as well as the miners. And you guys, I'm just so damn bullish on silver. Just looking back at this again, you guys, look how silver still topped out. So we'll actually take a look at SLV. So SLV is a silver trust. So this is kind of like betting on physical silver. Let's go back 5 years, just get to the weekly candles, and then zoom out to see what happened back in 2011. So you can see here silver, SLV, Silver Trust, is currently at $25. The high back in 2011 was at $48. So perfect 2x. Silver could still 2x from here and only just be scratching its previous all-time highs. With silver is definitely more speculative. It's more risk on than gold. It's less scarce. So that's kind of the argument there. But I mean, silver is just the younger brother to gold, and it'll probably ride the wave with gold. I have to imagine that'll happen, and I do think silver will break new all-time highs, and we'll probably see as far as SLV is concerned, like a $50 SLV. Then silver miners, I'm the most bullish on silver miners specifically over any other asset. I mean, now gold miners too as well, but silver and gold miners super bullish. AG, MAG, FSM, like. Again, you guys can go do your own research, find miners that you like, find companies that are doing well in your eyes, and really look into them. Really consider establishing a position, because it's important to remember in gold, in miners, in Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency especially. Like, it may seem like things are rallying and things are ripping right now, but if you zoom out, you understand how early we are in what is the new 2020 bull market of gold, silver, cryptocurrency, etc. Okay, so super exciting times. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Let's move down a little bit. So next week, EVs too. Tesla is just ripping. Let's take a look at Tesla real quick. Tesla, I don't even have any technical analysis on Tesla. If you look here on the weekly, let's go to the daily chart. So on the daily, you can see Tesla is scratching its previous highs. It just keeps thinking about setting new highs. I'm personally not invested in Tesla. I personally would not touch Tesla right now. Tesla is just an absolute, it's a beast. This perfectly highlights the current trading environment. This is why, like, people want to invest. The new investor, the investor of 2020, the davey day traders, want to invest in stocks that are revolutionary and changing the world. And that's what Tesla is. That's why people like Bitcoin. That's why Nikola shot up to ridiculous valuations when it's not by any means worth what it is at now. Okay, Nikola's not worth as much as Ford. I don't care how much you moon boys want to justify that. It's not. There's no chance. Okay. But it just shows market sentiment. People want to invest in things that are changing the world, and I get it, and that's awesome, and that's a trend as well that you guys have to keep in mind. Stocks like Workhorse, Helion, Shell, Spartan Acquisition. There's a lot of good plays within this sector. So, well, it's been going sideways, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Again, there's not too much exciting things going on right there. That's why I haven't been touching on it much. Obviously, Moderna, Sorrento, and Novio. We're seeing some price action around here. Novavax has been did pretty damn well. Again, if you guys watched the last stock talk on these, you would know that I said that we could see a bounce. So it's not surprising to me to see this movement. Novavax did secure a pretty solid deal, but I'm not. Again, you guys, I'm personally only paying. Moderna is my vaccine play. Sorrento is my treatment play. Those are the only calls and stock positions I have in the sector at this point, and I'm just focusing on those. So I'm still bullish on Sorrento. Sorrento significantly pulled back. Let's actually take a quick look at that. So Sorrento saw a significant pullback. Let's go to like the hourly candle, make this look a little less wild. So Sorrento pull back. I think we're probably what's likely for Sorrento is we're setting this like kind of upward ascending triangle, and ascending triangle traditionally a historically bullish pattern. If we play this out, I think we will once again break to the upside and then see. I don't know if we'll reach. I mean, obviously news is going to be the catalyst. So it's going to need some good news to see some impressive price action. But Sorrento pulled back super significantly. I personally think Sorrento's a great buy right now. I have been adding to my position personally over the course of this dip. So keep an eye on Sorrento, you guys. The fundamentals are still strong no matter what. Like the red you may see, just keep vision on the fundamentals and what like the true mission and like what's really going on fundamentally as opposed to the technicals. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm playing with Moderna right now. If you look at Moderna broke below this lower line of support, which is super sketchy in my mind. But I just have a gut feeling, I've been saying this, that Moderna is probably going to drop some great news soon. So I'm holding my Moderna position. I do think Moderna is still the leader in my mind. If you guys disagree, that's perfectly fine. This is just my opinion. I've established Moderna in my mind as the leader, as the most likely candidate to establish an effective vaccine. That is why I'm focused on Moderna. I do still think that over time Moderna can once again come up and reestablish this pretty conservative top line of resistance once they release some good news around $140. All right, so that's Moderna. Just going down the line here, cannabis not doing too good. DraftKings, Penn, they started the week well. DraftKings actually didn't do too well in earnings, so that's a bummer. Just going down, airlines. Oh, Lemonade is actually doing pretty well right now. I want to show you guys Lemonade. So keep an eye on Lemonade. Lemonade's probably going to do pretty well next week too. So you can see Lemonade is still above its IPO price significantly, but it reached a high of $95. It's currently sitting at 63 at a market cap of where you're at 3.5 billion. So Lemonade is like an insurance company. The next generation, they're the future of insurance. I'm convinced of that. Super cool company. I recommend you guys look into it for sure. I might consider because I sold it. I was trading it around here a little bit, but I stopped. But Lemonade, I'm super long-term bullish on Lemonade, and I think they could see some significant price action in the future. So keep an eye on this. Just keep an eye on revolutionary stocks, you guys. I can't reiterate it that enough. What I've taken from this current market environment, obviously people like shiny objects. They like story stocks. Stocks need a good story. Stocks who are changing the world with a good mission will win in 2020, and I assume that is a new trend that will continue to keep trending that way, all right? Innovational stocks, world-changing, revolutionary stocks will continue to dominate the markets. And I mean, aside from gold and silver, those are very legacy plays, but you guys get the point there. And you guys know those are our favorite stocks around here. So again, subscribe if you want to catch more content like this. I appreciate you if you're still around, if you can bear with me through the rambling. Once again, please leave a comment below. I love talking to you guys, love learning from you guys. If you have any takes on gold, some of your favorite mining companies, if you have any of those, if you're bullish, what you think about Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency sector right now, just anything you're excited about, what you're personally looking forward to next week. Again, always love learning from you guys. That's the biggest thing the comments do. I love learning from you guys, okay? So I'll talk to you down there. Once again, if you guys do want to check out the Complete Portfolio Daily Newsletter, it's a complete breakdown of all my call options, all put options, all stock positions, as well as cryptocurrencies too. So along with that, I do send out the newsletter as well, similar to this. This is what you'll see in your inbox every morning, every trading day, which I do send out talking about just the trades I made that day, as well as my general thoughts on the markets overall. So it's more real-time updates for myself if you're interested in that. Once again, $15, last day for $15, and then it's $20 from here on out. Okay, so I really appreciate it if you check it out. If not, no worries at all. Truly, I love hanging out with you guys here. So until next time, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.